back, everybody. When it comes to seafood, you'll get some of the best right here in the Bay Area. Joining me now from Ancora, the Bay Area's newest seafood restaurant, is Executive Chef Nick Anakini. Chef Nick, thank you so much for joining us here on Live in the Bay. We appreciate
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, we have to talk about Ancora, which was recently just opened this summer.
Yep.
What inspired you to open up this seafood-inspired restaurant?
I have been working with seafood and love seafood for my whole life. And there was a very serendipitous moment where I met Joe and Andy Conte from Water to Table Fish Company, and they were planning on opening up a restaurant. I was working on opening up a restaurant, and we worked on it from there.
Wonderful. Well, let's talk about Ancora and the venue itself. I know that you guys are sustainable, so everything is locally sourced. Why is that important for the restaurant?
Not everything is locally sourced, but we do definitely focus on creating a experience for the guests where they can experience the best of the Bay, which is at points of the time of the year very, very great. So we definitely put an emphasis on that. It's extremely important because that's where we're at right now. You want to taste what you're eating and the environment that you're at. And
also, do you guys work with local fishermen, local fisherwomen?
Yep. So Water to Table Fish Company has extremely high standards as far as who they work with, who they're fishing with, and who they're sourcing from. And that has been one of my main reasons that I've ever worked with them, and one of the main reasons that a lot of the other companies in the area work with them is because that they have extremely high standards. So who they source from are people that have hook and line fish companies, the fish boats that go out there and fish in a way that is a little bit offset in comparison to those big, massive fish companies, so it's pretty cool.
Well, describe the venue to us for our viewers who may have never been to the restaurant. What can they expect when they come in for a dining experience?
Fun. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for fun, we're looking for energetic, we're looking for something where people can, interact and enjoy themselves in a way that's, been shunned in the pandemic, where we were kind of separated from, enjoying company. So we're trying to create an environment that allows for people to come back to a more cultural feel.
Yeah, and speaking of the environment, we just got a couple of looks at the interior, which is absolutely beautiful. It's kind of a rustic design. What inspiration helped with designing the inside of the restaurant?
So the old restaurant was La Conda, which was a beautiful restaurant, which was very well done from the Delfina group. There are very much so aspects of that restaurant that they put a lot of time and effort and thought and artistic integrity into, so we wanted to hold on to those in some sort of way, but also wanted to make ourselves our own. So it was like this kind of fight between, who are we and who do we want to, tip our hat to, who our previous predecessor was.
Wonderful. Well, we brought a lot of delicious food that we can see over here on the table. Let's start from right to left. First of all, the bread smells amazing. It's been really hard for me to sit here and talk to you without being distracted by this bread.
You can have some if you want. You can take a bite.
I probably will. Tell me first about this bread.
So it's levain, which is like a traditional country-style sourdough based roll, which is what you're looking at here, and then a pan de cristal here, which we use for a pan con tomate, which is Spanish traditional. We use it with anchovies. But we make all our bread in house. I have a super great baker. His name is Joe Norton. Hey, what's up, Joe? How you doing? And it's something that isn't really done in too many restaurants, and I feel a lot of pride in that we do that.
Wonderful. Now, what about, well, first let's start with this little bowl over here.
So this is sausage that we make that we've made with halibut, which is coming out of season, which will turn into a different fish when the time comes. But I wanted to stay true. I'm from Chicago, so I wanted to stay true to putting encased meat on my menu, so it was super cool for us to be able to do that. We make a Dijon aioli on top of that, and then this, I don't know if anyone has had this in the city, but it's called jardiniere.
And what's inside of it?
So jardiniere is a very, very Chicagoan staple. I think every single person in Chicago has it in their fridge. But it is a combination of mixed vegetables. So you have cauliflower, carrots, onions, garlic, peppers, and those vary based on your desire to have heat or not. But it is such a condiment that you could put on pizza, sausage, hot dogs, blah, 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 blah.
And you incorporate it into the menu. So you brought a little Chicago with you to the Bay Area.
I will continue to do that.
Love it. And what about over here? Let's move to this dish.
Grilled oysters with harissa butter, and then some breadcrumbs, and we topped it off with a little bit of parsley and some oil.
And over here, moving to this, you got a lot of sauces. I'm a big dip girl, so I like that.
I'm a very big dip guy, and I think that we do very good in that. So this sauce is a sauce ravigote that we have a beautiful petrale sole that we grill off. And then we top it, we serve with a side of lemon. You squeeze a lemon on top of it, make it look nice. And then we throw a little bit of the sauce on the side there.
Ooh, love that. Now, you have to school me here. When you eat a fish like this, what's the best way to approach it? Because
carnivorously.
It can't be carnivorously. Okay, so basically a savage.
Yes, you have to go, and that is something that I think that we have established ourselves as, is people that aren't afraid to put bones on a plate. And we want people to get in there and really know what flavor is and really know what it means to look at a fish in the way it was, presented and made and grown, and we want people to not be afraid to get their hands dirty and have fun.
Wonderful. Well, we have to get to the last two dishes.
Okay.
What about this one here?
So, beautiful Mount Lassen trout that we grilled, and then there's a sauce that we make out of a bunch of different peppers coming from Tierra Farms.
Spicy?
Not too spicy, no. Well, there's a little bit of spice in there because I think that a little bit of kick is good in some ways. But it is made out of a Moro pepper that we topped with some sesame oil and a lot of different ingredients. It was like 40 ingredients.
That sounds good. Okay, our final dish over here.
Mussels escabeche. So salt spring mussels coming from Salt Spring Island in British Columbia that we just marinated in a escabeche liquid, which is super classic in Spain, which is a heavily spiced paprika, oily, vinegary situation. And then we took all of the aromatics from that, put it on top in a relish, and then topped that off with a little roasted garlic aioli.
Wonderful. So one thing you want, before we go, one thing you want people to take away from the Ancora experience?
Come.
Just come over.
Just get over here, man. Enjoy a really, really good meal, which I mean, I know I'm biased, but it's a super cool experience. It is super impressive to see the team that we have do what we do, and I think the city needs it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Chef Nick, for joining us here on Live in the Bay. We
Thank you for having
appreciate
me.
it.
Yeah.